Welcome back. The SACP will host its fifth Special National Congress until Saturday in Boksburg. The party says its key priority will be to assert its independence with the determination to end unemployment, poverty, inequality and capitalist exploitation. The Congress comes amid tensions in the tripartite alliance. The ANC Deputy President, Paul Mashatile, is expected to deliver the ANC's message of support to the SACP later this week. So what can we expect at the four-day special sitting? Let's now bring in the SACP's first Deputy General Secretary, Madala Masuku. Mr. Masuku, very good morning to you. Thank you so much for making time for us. Let's start off with what it is that the SACP would want to achieve during this particular 4 days and some of the critical discussion documents that are up for debate.
Thank you very much. This Congress is a special national Congress, and it comes in mid-year, 30 months after the main Congress. So its duty is more to review the work on all the decisions that the party would have taken in the last Congress. And in those ones, we have got 10 pillars that we had agreed upon that we're supposed to deal with, which has got to do with building of the party, an independent party with an independent voice, and that is connected to the people. And there will be a document that speaks to that. There will be a document that will be speaking to how do we deal with the plight of the people, their lives, the current challenges that are having highest cost of living. There will be a document that is speaking to that, and there will be a document that is speaking to the economy itself, and also on the issue of how do we redistribute the benefits of the economy. It will speak more to how do we change the trajectory where we are focusing on more of cutting of budgets that are talking to the people. And in focusing on that, also how do we deal with also generation initiatives that are generation resources that will not encourage that to happen. So those are, those are the document that those are the areas that we'll be looking at. We'll also be looking at on our, what we call the SACP state and popular power relations, which has got to do with what form do we take when we go towards elections. There were decisions that were taken in the last Congress, so we are going to be looking at that and reviewing as to whether going forward, is it what kind of a form do we take?
Yeah, at the 14th SACP National Congress, one of the issues that was raised as well was the reconfiguration of the alliance, and year in, year out, when the ANC or the alliance partners have the meeting that would be taking place, that is put on the agenda. But do you think that the SACP, or even the alliance for that matter, has been able to meet the recommendations that have been made around how this alliance should be reconfigured, what it looks like?
No, Adrian, is what is going to is what is worrisome, because we haven't made progress on that, and it's one of the key decisions that have been taken by the 15th Congress that has said that now we're giving you 6 months, you go and conclude your relationship, your issues around reconfiguration. And if that doesn't happen, we want you to go and form relationship with different community structures and go and contest election, even if it is with outside outside the alliance arrangement, reconfigured alliance arrangement. And they even emphasized, even that it came to a point where they made a decision that within that augmented central committee that said, we are going to go and in the alliance now with the ANC. If you don't conclude, the next thing that is going to happen is that we are not negotiating leadership, local government elections. We are going there.
You are going there. Okay. And before I get to that point about contesting the elections independently, again, the 14th National Congress that took place in Boksburg also, I remember that particular period where the SACP had taken a decision that the then president of the ANC would not be invited to speak at SACP events because of your dissatisfaction around how he was leading the party and leading the alliance that is now former President Jacob Zuma. The deputy president at the time, Cyril Ramaphosa, came to address the Congress. And at that Congress, he said that don't contest it, don't go at it alone, because by the time that you get there, you will find that the cupboards are empty. And the SACP decided exactly not to do that. What do you make of that decision in hindsight?
No, on that decision, in that influence, it was said that we actually didn't do our work in the 14th Congress, because we're directed to go and interact with the alliance and all alliance, COSATU, SANCO, and the ANC on the perspective of the alliance. And that is why then we're instructed in the 15th Congress to do so. And then when we did that, there was a progress that was made, and there was a joint agreement with the ANC and that document, and also with COSATU. And then when we went to the last Congress of the ANC, they then decided, the new leadership that came, they said, no, we want to come up with a new discussion again. And that's where
and what do you read into all of that? Because once again, the SACP actually threw its weight behind the candidacy of Cyril Ramaphosa.
We wouldn't like to individualize that, because they are a collective. So we'll talk to them as a collective, and
but the decision to bar former President Jacob Zuma was based on an individual, and the SACP was able to target an individual. How's that different this time around?
No, within a collective, we talk to the collective if there's an individual that is actually problematic and is creating problems. We talk to the collective, and in the case of former President Zuma, what has happened was that we had exhausted that, and his defiance was not only with us. Our relationship was also now beginning to act as an individual against the collective.
Okay, and you believe that under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa, there is no defiance of the SACP?
No, there's just there's slowness and reluctance, and that is why we have a framework that was decided by the Augmented Central Committee that you don't wait. If they delay, here is a path, and you go ahead. And that's why we're going to be discussing the modalities of the implementation of the decision by 2026, how local government elections are going to contest it.
Would that discussion also include which are the possible political parties that the SACP could work with?
Well, yeah, it doesn't. I mean, there's a discussion, there's a broader discussion that talks about electoral processes, and also taking the realities of when we move forward. When we say we want power to the people, what we mean, and who are the other people that we can work with, who are the other people that we have worked with that have got an interest to the working class and the poor. Those are the things that will be deliberated on.
Okay. Just quickly, finally, is the SACP also going to reflect on the electoral outcomes of your alliance partner, the ANC, and to what extent would the SACP also look at itself and say that we also have members that are employed or that have been deployed by the ANC, with that dual membership, of course, that are deployed by the ANC, and what role do they have that may have led to the decline of the ANC at the polls?
Yes, that reflection is already on. It was at the level of branches and the district and the province, and it is coming now into this conference, it will be in the center of that, the analysis of our performance as a collective. What is it that might have created a problem, and also ourselves as the party, what is it that we might have done that might have caused this problem. But one of the things that is actually coming out is on the fact that even the way that we've structured our alliance is creating a problem, because it doesn't allow the working class and the poor and those that want to have a definite left program to go and follow their socialist program, so that they get disgruntled and say, no, we're not going to vote for this collective. Otherwise, we're going to listen to someone who's talking this program, or else we are going to wait. We're going to just leave and stay at home because we don't believe in this thing that they are involved in.
Yep.
So those are the reflections that we're doing.
Those are the reflections, and this thing being the government of national unity, right?
You're saying what?
You're saying this thing that they are involved in, is that in reference to the government of national unity?
No, the thing that we're involved in is it's more of us, the program that we've been in,
okay,
and also that we've consolidated it by bringing in this coalition between the ANC and DA,
yeah,
which is a class enemy.
I want to just quickly ask you a political question, and I know it may be a bit difficult considering that it is, we're speaking here about the ANC and a decision that the NEC would need to make. On its reflections about what happened with the elections, KZN as well as the ANC in Gauteng, they face the possibility of being disbanded. From a political perspective, what do you see this mean for the ANC as well as the alliance if a decision is taken to disband KZN as well as ANC Gauteng?
Well, that would have been a decision that has been taken by the ANC, but though we didn't understand why should be KZN that is blamed, or Gauteng that is blamed, as if we were not involved, all of us there. We were there. We sat together and we put in a manifesto. We walked all over. We spoke to the people. The issue is there are things in your policy stance that is creating a problem to the people. And also the conduct of your own members is creating a problem for the people to see you as still that alternative that is supposed to change their lives. So that's what we must deal with. Let's deal with the policy. Let's move out of this thing of austerity. Let's move out of this thing of neoliberal policies that are actually limiting the role of the state in the economy. That is limiting us from industrializing and getting our mineral resources to beneficiate and get people to create jobs here.